Hey, so coming up on Bro to Even Talk Pinball, we're going to discuss the news in the last couple months.
We're going to get into some viewer email. Yes, we actually got some.
We had a Domino's launch party for the new Domino's pinball machine.
We're going to talk the differences between the different Ghostbusters, Dialed In, and the Hobbit.
And everybody's favorite subject, pinball pricing.
Oh, man. All that and more coming up.
Double super jackpot!
I need a ramp. I need a loop. I want targets I can hit. I need the scoop. I need a double super jackpot in my life. That's right.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Nick Lane.
Kevin Meny.
And we're Bro to Even Talk Pinball, and it's been so long. I guarantee we're going to be very rusty because the last time we did this was before Pinball Expo, which honestly was only in October, and it's only November, but it feels like a lifetime ago.
People can say Bro to You Even podcast because we don't.
I had people ask me, they're like, are you podcasting anymore? I was like, well, we haven't even missed a month, and we do it every month, so
yes.
just settle down. We'll get to it. We've got
Grab
so
yourself
much.
a cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy.
We got so much pinball going on. When I was at League Night, I don't know, it doesn't matter whose name it was. The guy's like, my wife was watching you guys, and they're like, do they have jobs? He's like, yeah, we have jobs, and then we do like a whole second job of pinball.
We do, yeah. It's kind of crazy, but here we are.
I love podcasting, and I love talking pinball because, again, one of the reasons we did this is Kevin and I are always talking pinball anyways.
Uh-oh, Rudy Soup resubbing 6 months in a row. Thank you, buddy.
So, we might as well record ourselves. So that's what's going on. I had to remind myself why we do this.
That's right.
And probably everybody else.
Yes. Why are we doing this again? That's why we're doing this.
It's Monday, November 21st.
It is. We got new shirts for sale.
Oh yeah, that's right. See, that's good, man. That's good. Look at that, Kevin. So if you're watching, that's not, no one's gonna watch it now. People who are listening to, they're gonna get the wrong idea.
People are gonna go, I'm listening to this. I need to see what's going on that stream.
I don't know.
BuffaloPinball.com/merch. You can get the new Play Angry shirt, inspired by our very own Nick Lane, who is one of the angriest players I know.
I play as angry as Rob lives life angry. Rob Metzler, that is.
Man of hat, too, most of you.
We hired a local Buffalo tattoo artist who I think did an awesome job with the concept. I just kind of gave him a couple sentences of what we want, and then boom, he comes up with that. So, but it's not an aggressively, it's an aggressive shirt. It's not an aggressively Buffalo pinball shirt. It has got our logo on the back, so we wanted to create just a pinball shirt that wasn't just like advertising Buffalo per se. So there you guys go. That's available, $25 if you're in the U.S. That includes shipping.
McSirTuna resubbing 6 months in a row. Thank you, buddy.
If you're outside of the U.S., just message us and we'll figure out what shipping is. Typically, it's just an extra $8.
Yep.
But we'll do that for you.
So for those of you who are listening, it's a guy walking away from two pinball machines on fire with a can of gas in his hand. So you draw your own conclusions.
Pinball machines on fire, pissed off. We were joking we were going to do a discount code of Trent, maybe at some point. If you guys know that joke, then
thank you guys for all the love in the chat.
All the love of Trent, but that's kind of a inside pinball joke.
Yes.
All right, Kev, you want to kick it off?
Kick it off with some news. All right. Well, let's recap from last episode a little bit. We had a contest because we were pre Expo.
Oh yeah.
We issued a challenge to anyone at Expo to get their photo taken with Buffalo Pinball's own David Fix. David Fix. And we got a winner. It was Zach Meny. I don't know where he's from, but he sure enough took a picture with Dave, posted it on the Buffalo Pinball Facebook group, and he won himself a Bro to Even Pinball t-shirt.
No, he did not. He won a Play Angry t-shirt because we were out of the Bros, so he got one of the first people to get the new t-shirts. So
Nick ships out all the shirts.
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing.
And David Fix, who after 6 years of knowing him, he didn't even tell us this. He wrote on his Team League forum, David Fix, and Martha asked him. He says he does not like to be called Dave Fix. He likes to be called David. Just to let you guys know. It even says on his Superstars card, Dave Fix. Everyone calls him Dave Fix, so my mind is blown.
He should have told us before he came on the Bro Show and the podcast all in one week, where we would say his name numerous times. He should have told us. We could have.
Maybe 10 years from now, he's going to be like, listen, I've been trolling you this entire time. This is all an elaborate act. I'm not really this much of a character, but God bless him.
We can only hope.
I don't think that's going to happen.
So that was our winner of our T-shirt. We also had one other challenge where we asked a viewer to. It was a double-ended challenge. We asked somebody to write into our email, and we asked Nick Lane to check the email. And
I'm sorry. You probably want me to be ready for that.
Yeah, and I'm happy to report that not only did someone email us, Nick found it and forwarded it to me. So
you have it.
Success. I don't have it.
All right, well,
you got to pull it up.
Jesus Christ! All right, let's see. Let's see if I can pull it up. And I don't see it anymore.
Oh my God.
So
well. I forget who it was because it was like a month ago now. We'll get back to it later in the show, hopefully.
I thought it was sent to the Buffalo.
No, he sent it to buffalopinball@gmail.com. Or no, talkpinball@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's what I pulled open.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe it went to the other one.
It's not there. Maybe it went to the other one.
Talk amongst yourselves. So yeah, I remember he said, hi, you got an email, and he wants it. We asked if anybody had suggestions for games to review, and he wanted us to review Vector, which normally, if you're watching the stream, would be sitting directly in the middle of us, but it's out at Camp Bruce getting a little bit of love. So it's
Bruce Nightingale.
Bruce Nightingale, that's right.
He's got his own pinball podcast. What is it?
Slam Tilt.
Slam Tilt.
Check out Slam Tilt podcast with Bruce Nightingale and Ron Hallett. And Bruce does good work, and I'm happy to have him working on my game. He sent me some video over the weekend where he had it up and running. Zach, it's not AJ, that's his name on Facebook. Zach, I can't remember his last name, but Zach was helping him fix the game. They had it up and running. It ended up being a lightboard issue, which was causing the game to not fully boot up. So that's where we were on that. While Nick looks for emails, did you find it?
Here we go.
All
guess
right.
Guess what I did? I put it in the quote unquote important folder, which basically means why would I even do that? Past Nick is an idiot sometimes.
So what did the email say and who's it from?
All right, this is from James Mueller. Do you know James?
I do not know James, other than being across the internet.
Okay, I thought you might know him. Okay. Hey, Nick, who will be on top of checking emails.
Clearly, I think we've demonstrated that here today.
Another great episode. I'd agree. That's me interjecting. I really would like to hear more about the 7-step process of starting a truck. I wish, honestly, he's talking about David Fix's 7 steps to starting a truck, which I wish every day I wake up, I wish I saved that because I would have framed it.
It's one of the greatest stories ever told, really.
Could you spend an episode on that alone? I agree. Again, I agree, Jim. Any chance for a game review of Bally? Okay. Is there a bro pinball stream in the works for it? So yes, and yes. We can do both that.
So yeah, probably how that'll play out is we'll play it on the Bro Show, and then whatever episode we have of the talk show after that, we'll give it a review.
Any updates on your collection? I remember hearing you had an interest in Harlem Globetrotters recently. Cheers, Jim. So Jim, you are correct. I have a ongoing interest in the Harlem Globetrotters. I do want that machine. So I haven't found one, but I'm not in a huge hurry. I do have a line on Flash Gordon that a local collector, I guess he's got a couple of them, and he's going to be putting a new playfield in there, so I might be getting a brand new playfield in Flash Gordon. So eventually I'll get it, and I just had to throw a bunch of money unexpectedly into my car, which basically would have bought 2 nice Bally's. So you do the math on that, folks. That was not fun.
That's not the last math we're going to do tonight, from my understanding, either. There's going to be some
oh shit, there's some more math.
Currency conversion. There's going to be. Just stay tuned for that. You guys.
We talked about pricing. So there we go. I found the email. We got one email. People listen.
So that's not the only update in your game room. What else is new in the Lane household?
Well, I mean, I'm babysitting The Hobbit right now.
You sure are.
You brought that over a couple weeks ago, so I've been playing that. And I actually blew the game up on Saturday when I was doing an impromptu live stream. And I got to 5 armies, which is the 3rd wizard mode. And that's up on YouTube now, so you guys can see that in a 3 million plus game.
Yeah, no big deal, right?
I was happy.
Don't forget what Pup Chase just said.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't forget about that. But there's a Batman Forever as well that's on loan to me. So we only got it because Pup Chase, who's one of our viewers, was like, I want to see Batman Forever. I'm like, okay. And I
he snapped his fingers.
Pretty much.
And Batman Forever appeared in his house.
Awesome local collector, Jamie Brundage, who is probably one of the nicest pinball enablers in the world. And I'm borrowing a couple of his games, but he brought over a Batman Forever, which is amazing because you got to dig that tank of a machine out of his basement and then haul it over here. Another local collector helped haul it over here just so we can stream it for the internet. That is, Buffalo people are amazing.
It's mostly just for Pup Chase, really. Because, we had a request.
Yeah, we had a request, so there you go.
So that's your game room updates. My game room, so sadly I had to say goodbye to the Hobbit. It's not all bad, though, because in its place, ladies and gentlemen, is a Street Fighter 2, which most people would say is a terrible trade, and it is. But I'm still having fun with Street Fighter 2. I got it from another local collector. He totally shopped it all out. It's in good playing and looking condition. It needed, if you watched, we streamed it once. If you watched, it needed a coil for the right slingshot. I got that replaced. It's working great. I put a new alternate translate in it that doesn't look like an 11-year-old drew it, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty fun. It's super linear, and the scoring's a little weird, but I'm having fun with it. And other than Hobbit being gone, Street Fighter 2 being here, and Vector out of here, I think that's everything.
We mentioned Future Spa, right?
I think it was here last time.
So we still have to stream that game, but something always seems to be coming up, and it gets pushed back a week. So, but we will be streaming Future Spa. I think that might be next. Like, I'm thinking it's going to happen in the month of December.
Yeah, I talked to Nick about, or not to Nick. I talked to Bruce about it at his tournament.
Yeah,
and he said he would do it. We could do it maybe the week after Thanksgiving. So
because Kathy's going to come on, his wife.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And then we'll swap. I'll get my Vector back, and he'll take his Future Spa, and we won't be in the future anymore.
All right. And then what do we got a show coming up, a special show on this Sunday, right?
We do.
What's going on?
So there's a couple things to look forward to this week. So Wednesday night, there's going to be a special rebroadcast of McSirTuna's show that he recorded when he was down at Flippers for their Popper Circuit event. He played Big Bang Bar, the one, the only Big Bang Bar. They have one there.
Was that a remake? I assume
it is. I don't know for sure. But he played it until he destroyed it, like literally he broke it. And so he wasn't able to upload there. They like killed the upload stream during the qualifying the day before. So he was able to record it, and he's going to do like a live stream version of it Wednesday night, the 23rd at 8 Eastern. You'll be able to tune in and chat along while he plays through his games. And he tells me some good stuff happens, so definitely tune in. The other thing you want to look forward to, he'll be live Thursday night. I think he said he's playing Metallica.
Oh, so that's right. Thanksgiving stream.
If you need a little Thanksgiving pinball, McSirTuna's taking over the stream Thursday night in lieu of the Bro Show, because we're doing one on Tuesday night because I'm doing things all out of order. Tuesday.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. I didn't even have it on our list to hype up our Sunday thing, so I jumped in there.
Yeah. So Tuesday night, before we jump to Sunday, Tuesday we're doing a special stream with Mike. And do you know how to pronounce Mike's last name?
I don't. I'm going to take a stab at it so I can butcher it. I'm sorry, Mike. Mike Primo.
Okay.
Primo. Primeau.
There you go. Spell it yourself.
You guys can kind of take a stab. It's called viewer interaction.
So Mike's got a podcast, right?
Mike he's got a podcast. It's called Nights at the Game Table, which is about board games, which I'm huge into board games starting last year. That's my new addiction. You guys might have seen some of the streams that we've been doing on Fridays now. But he also is with the CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company, and he reached out to me last month because he's going to be doing a hour-long radio documentary. I don't know how did he frame it. I'm gonna find his exact words in a moment, but basically it's about games that are real, like board games and pinball machines in like this digital world that we're living in, and how pinball and board games can lead to social interaction with people. That's actually real, right?
Imagine that.
So that's really exciting. I think a lot of us can relate to that, and I think a lot of us like pinball because it is something that's real. We spend so much of our lives staring at computer screens and cell phones and TV screens that it's nice to get away to something that's real. And that's also why I like board games, so this is right up my alley. And we're doing a special bro show with him tomorrow. He's going to come down. We're planning on playing Iron Man. He's going to kind of do it behind the scenes. So we'll keep you guys up to date as to when that might air, speaking about his hour-long radio broadcast. But you can check in tomorrow at 8 o'clock Eastern, if you're listening. Actually, by the time you hear this podcast, it might be today if you're lucky. Or you can watch it archived on our YouTube channel. Just search Buffalo Pinball.
Yep. And definitely check out Nights at the Game Table. If I listened to it today and I asked myself, why do we bother podcasting? Because his production quality level is amazing. Yeah.
It's like listening. The best way I can describe it is if you listen to NPR, it's like a NPR produced piece where it's just the flow of it, the professionalism of it, going on location, background, noises, music. Then he has a portion of the show where he's talking to other people, kind of like a roundtable discussion. Well, of course. But it's awesome. I highly recommend it. The episode that I heard was math and board games.
Yeah, I was listening to that on the way home today.
So just even if you're not into board games, it's one of those things that's so well produced and interesting, it's worth checking out. So that, again, if you do a search in the Googles for Nights at the Game Table, you should find that. It should come right up.
Give them a follow on Twitter and tell them Buffalo Pinball sent you. They're at G-Table Podcast, all one word, G-Table Podcast on Twitter.
Well, okay, I don't think they talk super quiet and slow like NPR. It's not,
It's almost like that.
It's NPR-esque. It's professional in that sense. All right. We're moving right along. We're doing good.
We are.
Wow, I'm just knocking things off. Your email. Are we related to Domino's launch party?
I think we are.
Go ahead. Why don't you? Well, first of all, can I do a spoiler alert?
You can.
Kevin won it.
I did.
Kevin won the launch party, and he got a super cool trophy to boot. Which
should I get the trophy?
I'll grab it for you.
While
you talk.
Okay, so yeah, it was back in end of October, right before Halloween. We hosted the very first Domino's pinball launch party. Pocketeer Billiards in Buffalo, New York, was the first to get a machine off the line from Spooky Pinball of the Domino's machine, which was great. We were not able to stream live, but we did record the finals and upload them to YouTube and to our Twitch channel. So if you see that, you'll see a version of the code that is not at this point obsolete. After the launch party tournament, they went back and totally rewrote the rules. So you'll see at the launch party, it came down to basically just hit the skill shot and you win. And I think they saw that and were like, all right, we need to do something about that.
Which if you can't tell by my commentating, first of all, that was after being there for about 5 hours of watching the Domino's game, and I had to commentate because I didn't make the playoffs because I didn't hit the magic scoop, which is worth 1 million points. So I'm just like, and the strategy is they're going to go for the skill shot.
Yep.
The person who gets the skill shot will win, and it's basically like that for 2 hours during the playoffs.
Yeah, so there's a spoiler alert.
Thrilling.
So yeah, they rewrote the rules, not only just rebalancing the scores, but basically, reconceptualizing the whole machine. I haven't been able to play it yet because they've yet to install it at Pocketeer, at least as of the last time I was there, but hopefully they'll install it so I can give a little report back on that. But they are available until the end of the year if you want to get in on it. The $52.99 is the price. A portion of that goes to the Domino's Foundation, their charity, so you can get a tax write-off on it, I guess. And it's a great pin for a great price.
There you go. Awesome.
That's Domino's. Anything you want to add about the launch party or Domino's?
No, it was fun. It was an honor to be able to host the event. The Noid was there. We had pizza from Domino's. Adam Gasick was there, the guy who came up with the concept of the machine from Domino's. So it was just fun overall, man. We had a good turnout. We had 30 people, which was great because it was Halloween weekend, so you don't know what you're going to get then.
And we had Jay dressed up as the Noid, right?
Yeah.
How can we forget?
There you go, Kev.
Oh, my God.
Here's Kevin's. Hopefully you can see. This is worth tuning in, by the way. This is worth tuning in if you're listening to the podcast. That's Kevin's trophy for winning. It's got not one but two Noids on it.
Two Noids. It's got a button that says Avoid the Noid or something like that on it. It's got a star with a domino on it.
It looks like a fucking Oscar or
something. It's pretty fantastic,
right?
yeah.
All right.
Adam constructed that at his desk at Domino's headquarters. I love it.
Yeah, he's working really hard on pizza law.
He is. Pizza law. And so I think the best part of the tournament was when the delivery guys showed up and they had no idea what was going on. They just knew they had to deliver like 25 pizzas. And then the Noid was there and they were all getting their pictures taken with the Noid. It was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. It was fun. All right, so we've been busy. I mean,
Yeah.
Kevin's telling me this stuff. Like, this was when? Oh, my God. All
I
right.
know.
So, yeah, it's been a lot of stuff since we last podcasted.
It is. From there, do we want to keep talking about things we did, or do we want to get into the Ghostbusters thing? Because I think other things we did include going to Jersey Jack again.
Well, so what we're going to talk about dialed in, right? So I guess that's one and the same.
Yep.
So we went to the Jersey Jack factory. We streamed dialed in, which I bet a lot of you have seen. If not, you can go to our YouTube channel once again, Buffalo Pinball, and there's like 3 hours there of dialed in, which my favorite thing about that is there's a comment. What was it, Kel? Jesus
It was
Christ.
somebody on Pinside, naturally.
Of course.
It's not on the,
Pinside.
Somebody said, I really appreciate the coverage, but 3 hours, I don't even have 3 hours to play pinball. And to that I say, watch 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
You
stop.
You don't have like when you hit play, you're not like locked in. You're like, I can't move. I have to watch 3 hours of pinball. Oh my God! You're the too little, too much.
Yeah.
Too hot, too cold.
Next time
Goldilocks.
we
Easy.
spend 12 hours round trip driving to Jersey, let's just stream for like 20 minutes and really make it worthwhile.
Yeah. He's jelly. He's jelly, bro.
Totally jelly.
He's jelly. We got to play dialed in, and he should be jelly, by the way.
He should be.
So
I have to turn the heat down in here. It's getting hot.
you trying to sweat us out?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Well, Kevin's doing. Let's talk about how we felt about dialed in, and thankfully, we feel fantastic about it. There was that kind of reveal during Expo, and on Pinside, everybody lost their mind because they didn't like the name. This
What?
is just so stupid,
More
man.
Pinside?
Yeah, the name is fine, and the name makes sense when you play the game. All right, I get it. I don't care what the name of the game is at the end, because if your biggest complaint about the game is I told Jack this. I was like, listen, if their biggest complaint is the name, then you've hit it out of the park already, because they're finding things to complain about. So the game, when we saw it, absolutely looks beautiful. I love the artwork on the cabinet, on the play field. And listen, I'm not a BSer. I'm not just saying this. But my favorite part about the game is the fact that it just, I was going to say dialed in, it just shoots so unbelievably well. And I'm not a huge Lawler fan. Like, I like Lawler's games, but I don't own any of them. So that gives you an idea of where I'm coming from in my mindset. And it doesn't feel necessarily like a Pat Lawler game, because there's more flow than maybe normally you expect from a Pat Lawler game. It just shot so well. And this shouldn't surprise anybody that it shot well, because Pat Lawler, who is a legendary designer, had 3 years to work on it. So of course, just think about that. One of the best designers in pinball ever had 3 years, as opposed to maybe one if you're lucky, from most other designers. So that thing just shoots so well. It's so fun. Kev?
Oh, yeah, it's great. So we got a question in chat from Chenti. Says, do you think the name theme will make the final product? On the stream, Jack announced that they might be like finessing the name a little bit. I was watching his presentation from Free Play Florida, and he says the name's going to stay dialed in.
Good. Good. I mean, people were suggesting the alternative is Quantum City. Okay, Quantum City. It takes place in Quantum City. That doesn't resonate any more than dialed in.
Right.
And the reason it's dialed in is because the story behind the game is that it's not there's a cell phone in it. It's not about cell phone. It's kind of weird. There's a cell phone in the game that like the user gets somehow. Okay, he discovers it. It gets lost from this like evil corporation. So he's got the cell phone, but the cell phone can cause like catastrophes to happen. So it's almost like it's Sim City, because the entire view on the screen at all times is the city. And as you start modes, basically like events happen, like I forget, like earthquakes or Martians come and they're attacking. So what's kind of cool is you can see the progress in the game based on how destroyed the city is. That's why it's dialed in, just because the phone's sort of causing the destruction. I mean, it's typical Pat Lawler, and Pat Lawler does destruction-themed games. I mean, Whirlwind, right? Like, okay, if somebody came up with Whirlwind today, is that going to like blow people away? Get it? Pun intended.
Boom.
With the name, people will be complaining about that, but it's a great game, or fun. It's Pat Lawler, man. That's nothing. I guess I wasn't surprised by any of this because I know what to expect from him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think people have subsided considerably on it.
Yeah. And after Expo, like anybody who actually played it had nothing but awesome things to say about it. I think, not to toot our own horn, but I think the stream really showed the game off. I mean, and having Steve Bowden there to really walk, he understood it because he had played it at Expo, so he knew kind of the story behind it already, and he was able to show it off the way Steve Bowden only can. And so I think after getting all that feedback, seeing the stream, word's starting to get out about it. Jack also announced a $8,000 standard edition, which was another thing people were looking for. Which is, so Jack listens to his customers. $8,000 is still not cheap, but it brought the game down and made it more accessible to more people, which is great.
And we'll get to that. We'll wrap some of that into the price discussion because I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about a couple of the features in the game that kind of make people say, people know that we've played it, and people ask, at League on Saturday, one of the members was asking me, what's up with the lights that come down the play field and they hit your flipper and it disables the flipper, or what's going on there? Yeah, that's
super cool.
So it doesn't totally disable your flipper.
It makes it like flutter. It has a flutter effect to it.
Right. And if you hit the flipper when the ball's coming, it'll still flip it away a little bit. So you can still use the flipper. You just can't, like if you're holding the ball and it's trapped, it'll flutter it down so you'll lose the ball. So you got to be aware of if that shot is coming in, and either hit the shot and you can shoot the ball right back up that line and hit the jackpot shot at the back and prevent that from happening, or post pass it over and trap it on your other flipper. So it's not just like disabling flippers or switching flippers. It's it's coming and you can work around it, and it's actually really cool. It's probably one of my favorite features of the game.
I just had another one of the thoughts as I was playing it is it just honest to God seems like a Bally's Williams table if they never went away and they created a table in 2016.
Yep.
It just has that feel. It's like they're still there.
We have guests coming in on the podcast.
So that was super cool because so many people love the quality of Bally Williams, and that's all you hear, and they sweat it, and they have to have those games in their collection. Well, this game, honest to God, is for you. It's Pat Lawler, designing this table that looks, feels, acts like a game that they would have put out today.
Yeah, 100% agreed. The thing that struck me about the game, not only does it flow great, but like every shot goes like two different ways. So it's like there's twice as many shots.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So you think it's going to come out one way, it's going to come out another way. It's just so many variations. There's like a hidden trap door that we didn't even see until we like went around and looked around the back. It's got the thing that didn't really show on the stream much was it's got like the theater in the middle, which has got a hologram in it. That's when we were talking about spiders and everything. That's where the spider would appear, or the diamonds that Steve was talking about. So I feel like, we played a lot of the game, we saw a lot of the game, but there's still a lot that we don't know, like in the rules, and like what do those diamonds do, and what does the spider do, and how does that all play into everything?
Looks like the game shoots great, looks great. It's going to come down to rules, and there's only 20% in there, so it's hard to say. Now, if that's 20% of the rules, then there's great reason to be optimistic that they're really going to deliver on that, and that's the case with a lot of games these days. It's most games when they're released, they shoot quite well. I think this game shoots exceptionally well. But code can make or break a game, and I have the utmost confidence that the code will be there and it will be great because what's there right now is good as a baseline.
Yeah, and Jersey Jack has set a standard with their games of code that is like super, super deep and really polished. They keep at them until they're actually finished.
So anybody who had those kind of negative or initial thoughts, I urge you to go and play the game in person because I think that will change your mind. Until you can do that, again, check out our video of the gameplay. That's no BS. I mean, Steve Bowden was absolutely having a blast. The guy's ranked in the top 10 in the world. He's not just going to say that. He really enjoyed it. We really enjoyed it as well. I think Jersey Jack is going to have a huge hit on his hands with this game. I really don't have any doubts about that, and I'm very happy for them. The selfie mode. So there's a selfie mode in the game. Now, when I hear selfie mode as a 36-year-old adult, I don't take selfies except for a selfie league, and they look horrible. You can tell I don't. It's just if you want to laugh, go check them out. But like, even that's kind of funny and it's fun as we're playing with people because it takes it in such an obnoxiously funny way. Like it just. it's like a frenzy mode. So every switch will take a picture of you, so it just fills the screen with your picture. It's funny, man. It's just kind of like I can see this game being out on location and it definitely attracting the casual player. But even players like us, like we were laughing at it, we were having a good time, like just watching like Martha, like during selfie mode, like, you know, hamming it up.
Yep.
And even somebody who's not hamming it up, it's kind of funny to kind of give them a hard time about it.
It'll also do cool things like, so when Steve was playing, it like saw Nick standing next to Steve, and it put Nick's picture up during one of the modes, and it said person of interest. So it'll like pull your picture in and put it on the screen and make you part of the game, which is, you know, kids see that and they hear, or anybody like hears the sound of it, like a shutter firing off, and you're gonna turn your head and go, what's going on over there? So kudos to Jack. They're doing really good things. He's, you know, he hinted at, you know, there's much more to come as far as that's concerned, and like the cell phone integration, which we didn't really talk about it. Right now, it's there's NFC on it and Bluetooth, so you can set your phone on the game and pair it with the machine, and then you can flip with the flippers on your phone. Right now, it's just, I think it's like a proof of concept. Here's how we can interact with the machine. But I think that's just scratching the surface on what's to come.
He keeps on charging forward and bringing pinball into the 21st century without losing what makes pinball special. And I think that he's doing it absolutely right.
Agreed.
So, Lion Man.
Speaking of Knights of the Game Table.
Here we go, man.
We were just shouting you out.
There you go. So let's move on from that. We're going to talk about let's talk about the Hobbit because we're on Jersey Jack.
Okay.
And then we can segue into Ghostbusters Pro versus Premium and get people fired up and pissed off.
Let's do it. So
we're just warming up, by the way, until we talk about price.
So we're not doing a review of a game this episode. We're just we're hanging out. We're gonna do our impressions of The Hobbit because, you know, The Hobbit was loaned to us. We have a relationship with Jersey Jack. We're not gonna, you know. Clearly, we have something going on there,
right? We have a if we review it, then it's like, well, you guys have a bias. Well, of course we have a bias in a sense, right? You know, or we're gonna be accused of that. And then if we gave it a low rating, that's not good for Jack. So we're gonna, but we also got to talk about it because people ask us about it. And again, I'm comfortable saying these things, and thankfully, it's an awesome game. So why don't Kevin? You've had it longer than I have. Why don't you talk about your thoughts and feelings on The Hobbit?
I did. So kind of before I handed it off to you, I got the new code. I only played it a few times, so you can maybe talk to that a little bit more than I did. But Hobbit, man, I know we've said it a million times, but it is I think it's the most beautiful game ever made.
I agree.
It doesn't have hand-drawn art, but what's on there, they just took what was available and they killed it. Between the artwork, the way they print everything, the light show on the game is amazing. The integration of the movie clips and it's like a theatrical kind of experience. The sound and the audio, it's amazing. Yeah, when I remember when we were at the Jersey Jack factory doing the stream over the summer, and somebody got Into the Fire, and people are hitting shots, and it's like making the screen start on fire. And it's like, look at the attention to detail that goes into these games. It's like so amazing. And when we took it to Retro Game Con, that's another thing we did. We haven't talked about. We took The Hobbit there because we wanted people to see the game that didn't know pinball was still being made. Because, you know, 90% of the people there are just there for the video games, don't really give much thought to pinball. They probably think it's, you know, Space Shuttle and stuff like that. But you see that full featured game with the LCD screen and the movie soundtrack and everything. It's an experience, and that game was played all day. There's never a dull moment when it came to that game.
People were blown away by it.
Yeah.
People were just in awe of the game, and rightfully so.
Yeah, you spent a lot more time with people there than I did, but other impressions of the game, you know, like we said before, Jersey Jack games are, you know, with Keith Johnson at the helm of the rules, you're going to get tons of code. But the thing I think about this game more than other Keith Johnson games is it's easy to achieve some of the bigger things in the game, but it's hard to actually master them. So getting to multi-ball isn't particularly hard, but destroying Smaug is a real challenge and a real accomplishment when you're able to pull it off. Getting to Into the Fire or Barrel Escape, it takes a long time. It's not particularly difficult, but getting through those modes is where the challenge lies. Or getting through all the 32 different modes the regular gameplay modes are there. So the depth is there if you want to really dig into it, but if you want to just get some like high level stuff, I think most people at Retro Game Con, if you explained it to them, they were able to get to multi-ball, right?
Yeah, and I think there must be some threshold for like a pity multi-ball, like because there were some folks who drained really quickly and there's no ball save on the game. I mean, like it might let you hit like one switcher as long as it's not a skill shot, and it might give it back to you. But there were some folks with a low score, but the game recognized that and gave them like a multi-ball. I'm pretty sure because they hit like a mystery shot or something.
Oh, no
It
kidding.
would just start it instantly. So like so many people got to have a good experience playing it, and that's again a testament to the great score. The great rules in the game and the great programming.
Yeah. Wildcat said game was played all day, so 3 games. So that's one of the things about the game that if you're going to be playing, like I was watching you play it with Sean yesterday or on Saturday, and if you're good at it and the person you're with is not, they're going to watch you play a lot of Hobbit because it's definitely a long playing game. I mean, you can set up the game. Thank you, Yahtzee, for the bits. You can set up the game harder. Like we just left it as is because it's not our game. We're not going to go poking around at it to change the posts or take rubbers off and stuff like that. You could take the center post out. There are a lot of ways you could speed up the game. But as it comes from the factory or as it sits, it tends to be a longer play game.
Yeah, I mean, the game fits the theme, right? I mean, The Hobbit. So there's 3 movies in The Hobbit, and they're each like 3 hours. So you're talking about 9 hours of material. Mm-hmm. Like if you're designing a game, you're designing around a theme. So clearly that's going to be a long playing the game. The way that Lord of the Rings is a long playing the game, just like Game of Thrones is a long playing game, right? You're designing for the theme. So that's why it's that way. And with so much meat in the game in terms of all the modes and the wizard modes and everything that you want to see in a game, it's gotta be designed that way. But at the same, I've seen people drain really quickly too.
Yeah.
It can be unforgiving with no ball save.
Yeah, for sure.
And also the tilts carry through. So if you get 2 tilts in ball 1, while you're on ball 3, you're still at 2 tilts and 2 tilts, and then 2 warnings, and then you will get a tilt. So there are some things to balance it off. But yeah, it's definitely a longer playing game.
Yeah. To that end, though, I remember telling Nick that it was like, he was like, "How do you like The Hobbit?" I go, "It is my favorite game to stream because you can just you just get on it and really just go to town and show off so much different stuff. You're not playing like the same 3 modes over and over again. You're digging deeper. It was just so much fun to play on the stream.
It is, I would say, of any pinball machine out there, it is the best experience. And by that, the theatrics in the game, lights, sound, music, visuals, it really draws you into it. It really nails the theme. I can't think of another game that draws you into this submersive experience. That's what I'm trying to say. Immersive experience. Thank you, Kevin. My brain's not working right now. But I think you guys get that. Like when you play, it just does such a good job of that. And then hopefully that's where we're going with pinball to really just draw the player in even more. I had this coin-op collector night where I got together with some other collectors, and we actually weren't playing competitively, believe it or not.
Come on.
And a lot of the collectors there have been in the pinball hobby significantly longer than I have, some since, I guess, the 90s. And so they've seen a lot come and go, and they were just captivated by this game. And I had 2 of them saying, yeah, they want a Hobbit now. And that's a testament. It's not just a new person in this hobby who's looking at it and kind of taking in with its charm, which has got a lot of that, but, playing the game, there's a lot to love about it.
I think that's it's a great game.
Yeah, my opinion of it, and I've thought about getting it. If I have room in my collection now for, I think, 2 or 3 more games, because I can have 10 games total. So I'm not going to get it probably because of that. I need to fill up my collection. I just don't have that kind of money. However, if I had to downsize, or if I was in a space that could only have 3 or 4 games and I had to sell some off, then The Hobbit without a doubt, it would be in my collection. So it's the kind of thing that once I fill up my collection, one day I hope to have it, because it is that good. And I'm not a player who likes. I don't like longer playing games because I like to. I don't know. It's a time investment for longer playing games, and also when you have like friends over. If you're a good player, they can kind of just like sit there and check their watch, right? And like, why would I want to play pinball with Nick, And I like the social aspect. And I'm not a huge fan of wide bodies, and yet I can tell you guys I love The Hobbit. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. So if you might have been like me, you might have played it at a show in the past couple years and didn't have a good experience. I definitely fell into that category. I swear to God, every time I played it at the show, the beast mechs weren't working right. The code was early on.
It wasn't set up right.
It wasn't set up right.
Or you couldn't hit the ramps.
Wasn't hitting shots. The game I have is set up perfectly. We're running the latest code, which is 1.9, which is they're only doing bug fixes at this point, so everything's in the game. Oh my God, it's thank God Todd McCulloch reached out to me, and when I was out in Seattle and had me over, because part of his email was like, "Hey, listen, I heard that you played The Hobbit at a show and you weren't really impressed by it. Come over and play mine." And I did, and his played great, and he was showing me the things to do on that game, and that's when I'm like, there's something to this game. And now that I have it, in my place for a couple months, I'm able to see the beauty of it, and it just doesn't compare to other games, man.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. It's something special. It might not be for you after you play it, but I would definitely recommend investing some time. Make sure you can hear the sounds if it's on location. Bring some headphones and just plug it in so you get the full experience. If it's not playing right, then you're getting gypped. Find one that works and play the heck out of it, because I think at least you owe it to yourself to check out this game. He's built a work of art.
Just before we move on from Hobbit, as you were talking, it made me think of the different modes. And when you look at the playfield on the Hobbit, I remember a lot of complaints people had about it was like, oh, it's empty. There's nothing there, right? But true, most of the shots are way in the back, but one, you've got all these beast mechs popping up constantly. So while it looks like a wide open playfield, it's really not. And if you look under the playfield on the machine, there's not like an inch that's not used on that machine. It's just packed under that playfield. And the ingenuity with which they execute the rules around the playfield, like drop targets popping up and going down and having to avoid the drop targets and hit the targets behind them, or hit the certain drop targets to reveal the secret one, or hit the left shot and that lowers the beast, and then you can hit the right ramp. And it's just so creative. Like the modes in that are the most creative I've ever seen.
So Boomerski asked about WoZ. He's not played a WoZ yet. How does that rank in JJP games? I personally like The Hobbit better, because I think for me, theme does go a long way. I have trouble getting into Wizard of Oz. The theme rubs me off kind of the wrong way. But in terms of the gameplay and what's there for Wizard of Oz, I mean, that game's a work of art. That game has more in it in terms of kind of toys than The Hobbit does. And I like the fact that there's depth to the game. So what ends up happening is that when I go, we have online location, and I play Wizard of Oz, I'll stay there, and then I'll look up an hour later. I've killed like an hour, 1 or 2 hours playing the game, because I just get sucked into it. So it's a great game, and I highly recommend playing it. But for me, the Hobbit does it for me. I love the theme. I think JJP has grown a little bit. Wizard of Oz was their first game, and you can see the growth in the Hobbit. And it really shines, man. Yeah,
I agree. I think theme-wise and gameplay-wise, I prefer Hobbit over WoZ. I remember Jersey Jack when he launched WoZ, he said, "We want this to be the worst game we ever make," and I think he's living up to that. It's a spectacular game, but each game is improving.
Yeah, agreed. So maybe Pup Chase, or someone wants to see us play the WoZ Life Forcer. So maybe one day we will.
Hopefully.
I would love to be able to stream that game, because there's a lot going on in that game, and that's one of those games, just like The Hobbit, there, it really shines in your home. It's a longer playing game, but it's designed for the home in many ways. I mean, it's designed for on location. Obviously, that's why the huge screen is there to attract people, but it's also designed for the home collector, because there's depth to it. You're not going to play it and get bored of it, because there's so much to do, and that's the beauty of a Keith Johnson rule set.
For sure. So if you want to see some gameplay on WoZ, you can check out Boongo Pinball on Twitch, or Richmond Pinball. They both stream WoZ.
There you go. Okay, let's move along. Let's cause some trouble. Let's talk Ghostbusters Pro versus Ghostbuster Premium. So Kevin has a Pro. Boy. Kevin's had a Pro since what? June
or July, yeah.
June or July, yeah. And now we've got a Premium on location. Actually, Pocketeer Billiards has a Pro and a Premium there,
because they are crazy, but we love them.
Yeah, whatever, man. I don't get it, but whatever.
So yeah, we've up until this month, I played the Premium there a couple times, like because it was there, and I was like, I want to check it out, get a feel for it, see what the differences are, because I've played my Pro a million times. But this month we put it in our selfie league, I think it was my selection. So I have no one to blame but
thanks
myself.
a lot, Kev.
Yeah, nobody to blame but myself. And I don't like it. It takes
Jesus Christ.
The Pro is hard. Okay, that is an ass-kicking game. It is. You are going to drain. If you miss your shots, you are done.
That's a nice way to put it. Kevin owns the game. The Pro's hard.
Yeah,
the Pro's unfair.
Yeah,
but
it's hard. But when it's in your house, you can dial it in and get it playing.
it's true. Yours plays. You've got yours kind of better than most.
Yeah. The Premium takes an extremely difficult game, and it just unnecessarily makes it even more ridiculous. So let me break it down for you.
I'm holding back swearing right now.
Okay.
I'm glad you're talking because I'm just kind of working on the deep breathing.
I'll run you through my thoughts as I was playing this for Selfie League, and then you can pick it up and really unleash fury on this. So I'm playing it, and okay, it's got the physical ball lock. It's got the ramp. You hit it up the ramp if you can make it up the ramp. We'll get to that. And it goes down under the playfield. It locks the ball down there. Cool. People like physical ball locks, right? The trouble with the physical ball lock on Ghostbusters is on the Pro, it grabs the ball in the little scoop and then it bounces it off to your right, left flipper. You can trap it over to your right. On the Premium, it locks the ball and throws another ball into the pops, throwing it way out of control again and making it even more dangerous for no freaking reason.
I imagine you can dial like that in, like the eject from that, right? So
it's throwing the ball to the pops from the shooter lane because it's physically locking the ball.
Throwing the balls from the pop.
So it's got a physical ball lock. You lock the ball, it goes under the playfield, it holds it there. On the Pro, it bounces it out to your flipper and you just keep playing.
Okay, I'm with you.
On the Premium, it relaunches a new ball, it goes into the pops.
Oh, yeah.
And could come down the left side and right down the middle, goes down to the right side. Hopefully you can get control of it again.
Good point, yep.
So there's one check where it makes it more difficult for no reason. Second reason is those stupid magnet slings. Yeah, they're cool. Like when they were first announced, I was like, yeah, it makes sense on this game. It's like the ghost controlling the ball and throwing it around or whatever. So you get into a groove and you're playing the game and the magnet slings grab it and sometimes it throws it right down the middle. There's no fun in that. Where's the fun in that? Like I like the power on Addams Family, but rarely does it throw the ball down the middle and cause your game to be over with.
And then when I was looking at that, why not have it throw it up?
Yes.
Okay, and I got to interject because it's going to come up. This is one of my big things. So what? Show me what fucking pinball machine exists out there where the slingshots shoot it down between the flippers. It doesn't. They're angled so it shoots it up. Right?
Yep.
That doesn't mean okay, well, listen, all slingshots are this way, so you can't do it. Fine. But you're gonna make slingshots that are gonna shoot it in between the flippers? That's bullshit, man.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
Yeah, just
go ahead, Kev.
straight down the middle. It should not do that.
It would grab it and just drop it and throw it down the middle.
Yeah.
Because it hit the slingshots, that's not a death move in pinball.
Right.
The slingshots aren't drains.
Right. And it would be one thing if the game wasn't so ridiculously difficult to begin with. But on a game where it's like, oh, I think this is going to be my opportunity to get this ball under control. And it just throws it down the middle. And you're like, forget this. I'm going to go put my money in something else. Okay. Point number 3. The stupid left ramp and the stand-up targets. All right. They're bad enough on the Pro. Like, it's so bad that aftermarket modders are making a little cover to prevent all the air balls from going and flying off and breaking your plastics. I had one time before I had the protector on there. I hit one of the stand-up targets and it flew off of that, went back into the shooter lane, and relaunched the ball. On the Premium, the ramp is so much more difficult to hit. It's so much steeper. You have to hit it so much more perfect. But for some reason, the way that ramp is configured, it just, even like hitting the ball up the ramp correctly, sends an air ball flying.
You're talking the one on the left.
Yeah, the
you
left
haven't even
ramp.
talked about the right one, have you?
No. We haven't gotten that yet.
At least you're taking most of the rage away from me. I'm
Yes.
glad Kevin went first.
So it's a design flaw in that game, especially on the Premium and the LE, that left ramp. They need to do something about that. So yeah, it's harder to hit that ramp to begin with, and even if you do hit the ramp, sometimes it just goes flying off for no apparent reason because of the way so I own a Pro.
Can I interject for one moment? Boomer
Yes.
Ski was thinking about buying either Ghostbusters Premium or the Hobbit. First of all, before I give you what I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna say already, but play both. Just play both. Please play both before you do anything. Okay, now that you've played both and you're asking a question or you're putting this out there, Hobbit. Okay, Hobbit or Dialed In, as somebody recommended. Try Dialed In too, but I would run from Ghostbusters Premium.
Yes. Do not buy. If you're gonna buy a Ghostbusters, buy a Pro.
Play them all if you can, please, before you do that. But as
right.
a virtual friend to you,
Nick Lane, would you like to talk about the right ramp on Ghostbusters Premium? Please talk about the right ramp.
Listen, I just want to say I'm banging my head. I want to bang my head against this mic. I've had some fun games on the Premium. Okay, I've had fun things. The Magnet Slings can be cute at times. When I was up at Ed's place and we were playing Ghostbusters, and I had a good experience playing it. I think I've even played the 1F Pocketeer, and I've had a fine experience playing it. That's like minority amount of times. Okay, so on the Premium, instead of on the Pro, when you shoot like the right ramp, it kind of goes up and then just kind of falls back down, and that's fine. I mean, there's nothing. It's a little weird, but it's fine. It's fine. It returns to the flipper.
It's surprisingly satisfying when you nail that ramp. It's fun,
it's a tight shot. It's a difficult tight shot. So on the Premium, it doesn't do that. You like hit it up from the left flipper. It goes on this right ramp and it's supposed to kind of wrap around to the left flipper. So I guess in theory you can keep on doing that over and over again. First of all, it's a tight shot, so that makes it difficult. But the problem is there's so many rejects from that right ramp, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? You've got a difficult shot that's thin, and you're going to get rejects from it. And it's just like yet another thing, especially when you play both of them. I mean, the Pro's are already unfair in terms of how unfairly punishing the game is. I'm not just talking about difficult. I'm talking about unfair things happening on it.
With those dumb stuff like jumping
and
over
then you have the
lanes.
Premium. Now in the Premium, do you talk about Slimer? I just blanked out with so much rage.
I forgot about
I was
Slimer.
kicking the game. I just lost my cool when I was trying to play in the Selfie League. So Slimer moves around, right, instead of just staying stationary like he does on the Pro, which, okay, in theory, there's a lot in theories. In theories, that's cool. Okay, now because this is an improvement, right? He moves around, he does more movement on the game, great. Well, all he does is fucking make it more difficult. He made a game more difficult because you'll hit Slimer when you want to hit like the ramp, and then you'll drain. It's like, how is that fun? How is that fun? The game is hard enough. And I love difficult games. The game is unfair enough where you have air balls flying over. Then you have Slimer just being a dick and like screwing up your shots even more. It was just so bad. I was playing it at our team league night because I was trying to play it for a Selfie League, and we had other collectors around there, people with the ability who have been collecting for a long time, those folks that I mentioned who were watching The Hobbit, and they're just shaking their heads. They're like, they would watch the Magnet Slings grab the ball and just throw it down the drain and just do stupid things with it constantly, and they're just like, yeah, man, they did that to me. I'm never playing that game again. It's garbage. I'm sorry. I can't believe there's a lot of good things in concept from that game. It's a great theme. It looks beautiful. Sounds great. It's like they didn't play it. It's like they just put it out there without really testing it and saying, is this fun? Is this fair? Or is this going to drive people wild? I can't imagine casual players stepping up to that game and really having a blast with it. I feel like they're going to put their money in maybe a few times and then move on. But who knows? Maybe it's killing it on location because it's Ghostbusters. I don't know.
Yeah, from what I've heard, like it's earning really well.
Then seriously, Stern, then you did what you need to do, because you got to make games that are good for operators and make money. So, this is my opinion. I don't like it at all. I don't think it's a good game, and I come at games from a competitive mindset, and it's just a lot of infuriating things that you get heavily penalized unfairly a lot of times for things that you don't do wrong on that game. And we all kind of have a sense for when we're gypped in pinball. Now, with what Kevin said, if it's doing well in location, then that's great for certain. I'm sure it's selling for collectors, and that's what they got to make. They got to make games that do well in location. But, man, Nick Lane finds that game fucking bullshit.
Can we talk about the Scolari brothers? We didn't talk about them.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to get you fired up some more.
I don't, whatever. I mean, that's like you're just at that point, you're like, of course you did that, Scolari brothers. Why would you? Why would you not?
Scolari brothers, I think, could be fixed with a code update. Like, yeah, they come up and
make them not come up.
Well, you could make them come up, but give you the option to hit them or not. So if you wanna hang on to the ball and let them time out after a while, give people the option. Or if you want to try and go for it and get the super jackpot, then go for it. But if not, then just it's trap up the ball, hit other shots until they go away. It's not that hard. I hope they pull that off in a future update.
I'm glad, as Pinballer said, I'm glad it's earning on location. I want location pinball to succeed and do well. So that's awesome. So that actually made me calm down when I heard that it's doing well, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether we like it or not. pinball to do well. You want people getting into it. If Ghostbusters are going to get people into it and spend money and do well, then great.
Yep.
Keep on making games that are cheap and unfair, Stern.
Do it. People love it, except for Nick. And it'll get them fired up.
I like tough games, man. Yeah. I like tough games, and I think what's disappointing because I want to like Ghostbusters more, but I think Kevin's good with the pro, man. I think you got.
I'm glad I got the pro.
I like playing your pro much better than I like, and I can come over here and play without dumping in quarters.
That's
so
the
if
thing.
I get ripped off.
I love having it at home and just being able to hit the start button again. When I was feeding cash into it to play it for Selfie League, it was really pissing me off.
So Fire Team pointed out that 1.1 changed the operation of the magnet sleeve. So that's true. Here's the deal. We're early on. Mm-hmm. That could change significantly. They can program it so it won't shoot the magnet down, right? I mean, you can have control of that.
Yep.
So I think if they adjust that where it fires the magnet up or side to side is fine. Just down is a stupid motion for that to go into.
So as of Monday, November 21st, these are our impressions of the Ghostbusters Premium.
Yeah. I hope we look back at this fondly. It'll be probably 2 years from now, and the way most code updates go. And then we're just like, yeah, remember when we were just shitting all over Ghostbusters Premium and now I own one?
Yeah.
It could happen, man.
It happened with Walking Dead.
Look at Walking Dead. But there's some fundamental layout problems, I think, with that game.
Yep.
Not to mention the flipper gap.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about flipper gap. Pro tip for those of you listening who may not be up on, if you don't keep an eye on Pinside or whatever, there is a service bulletin out for Ghostbusters. There's the flasher right by the left scoop. If you take the plastic off there's two metal contacts there where wires connect. If there's not a piece of Mylar over those contacts, be sure you put a piece of Mylar on there to cover those up. If not, it could short out and short out some of your node boards. So definitely get on that. I did it. Mine didn't have the Mylar on there. I had to put it on there on mine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate crapping on games that people love, like people who own maybe a Ghostbusters Premium or have one coming on the way. I hope that you're like, Nick, you're crazy. I absolutely love it, and here's why. So, different folks, different strokes. That's just where I'm coming on that game.
The other part of the problem with the one on location here is the tilt is super tight on it, and that's a game you need to be able to move around. And
the one on location?
Yeah, you got to be able to move Ghostbusters.
All right. Well, if that didn't piss off enough people,
let's talk pricing.
Let's move on. I want to read this. This was a really it's well written, but it's
there's a lot of thought put into it.
I think this is on a lot of people's minds, and I told Kevin I want to talk about today because it's something that's kind of always there. It's like always the elephant in the room, right? And it comes up in a variety of discussions. It comes up when people talk about it, but it's pinball pricing. So there's a thread on Pinside. I'm going to read this verbatim, just the original poster. And who posted this, Kev?
Jar 155. That's Jeff from the Pinball Podcast.
Okay. And the title is "I've been a long time Stern pinball fan, but I'm done with them." Now, listen. This is obviously the focal point is on Stern. Here's my caveat. I've purchased 5 new in-box games. I'm going to buy more Stern pinball games, most likely. Like, I'm super excited over Aerosmith. It's just kind of funny that I'm saying that.
Somebody quote that, yeah.
But who was saying this months ago about Aerosmith, and everyone's like, no. But then they released the pictures of Aerosmith, and then the song list. It's like, okay, all right. I'm hoping that we get an Aerosmith. I'm hoping Martha gets one, all right?
Yep.
So this comes from somebody who has purchased a number of This is me also. I'm not talking about Jar 155 or Jeff. So just take that with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to Stern bash, but it's worth talking about. So I'm going to read what he wrote. This is in his post. All right, here we go. Quote: "I've been in this hobby for over a decade, and all that time I have done my best to support Stern Pinball. I have defended the tough decisions they had to make in the down years, and I've tried to stay patient in recent years. I've spent lots of money on their games, but I have purchased my last new in-box Stern pinball machine, an official Stern product, mods, accessories, etc." He's also got a longer version of the story, and there's a link to it in this. He goes on. If you want the what's this pinball speak? Do you have TLDR?
Too long, didn't read.
Well, the too long didn't read. Okay, there we go.
That's
I learned
internet
something.
lingo, not pinball lingo.
Yeah. I basically feel like Stern Pinball has lost its way and has turned its back on the hobbyists and collectors that kept them alive through their lean years. Quality of components has gone down. Quality control has plummeted, but prices are far outpacing inflation. Stern is difficult to communicate with, and they only care about your wallet. Until practices dramatically change, I'm done supporting Stern Pinball in any fashion. These couple of statements from my article about sum it up. And he quotes his article. Stern's price increases are severely outpacing inflation. Stern's quality control has noticeably slipped over the years, and the ever-cheapening of components and process is seeing problems with cabinet decals peeling, plate fields chipping, electronic components failing, and mechanical failing or acting in unreliable fashion prematurely. You are paying more for a product that is becoming more problematic. Stern doesn't care about you. They care about how many zeros they can knock off the end of their bank account statement. We want to be customers, not a sketchy salesman's mark. So Stern, you may have kept the lights on in the manufacturing plant, but we are the ones that paid for the electric bill. It's a shame how easily you have forgotten or worse, tried to ignore that fact. So this is not my opinion. This is a post that I wanted to read from Jeff. That's the end of his statement. Now here's the thing. There are 169. I thought there was 175. This is what's showing on my thing, but there's like more than 150 likes on it, and there were only 6 downvotes. So think about that. There's a lot of people who read this and are saying, yes, I agree wholeheartedly with it. Now, I want to talk about pricing, and we'll obviously start with Stern. We'll talk about pinball pricing in general. Mm-hmm. But the reason I think I bring this up, I think the reason Jeff, who's the author of that post, brings it up, I think the reason people agree with it, because we want Stern to succeed. We want all these pinball manufacturers to succeed. And one thing that we have the power to do is to vocalize our concerns in the hopes that a company will listen. And if they choose to listen, they can either respond back to criticism like that, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm not here to judge what's right, either verbally or show some reflection in like the pricing, right? So I think folks like Jeff and certainly myself, I agree with a lot of what he says. I'm not that harsh because I will probably purchase more Sterns, and they've always taken care of me when I've had a problem. So I think their customer service has been great in solving problems that I've had with their products. But I bring it up because I care about pinball. And one thing that I do really like about Stern is that they, even with the other companies out there, they have a product that's pretty affordable. And I know, you can get a Pro for what, like $5,000, Kev? You bought one recently? Okay, so you can get a Pro shipped to you for like $5,000. Now, that's a lot to non-pinball people. That's a lot to most people.
In reality, $5,000 on what is basically a glorified toy or game that you play in your house. It's kind of ridiculous.
I'm not, Kevin and I are not wealthy. I have no kids, so I can do like a crazy luxury purchase once in a long while, right? And what's good about Stern in many ways is that they have 3 different levels of pinball machines. So as we're seeing other companies up in the $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, those are beyond my budget. I probably, along with a lot of people, hope that Stern maintains pricing in that like range that, you kind of shrug your shoulders, and a lot of us are in that bracket where we can purchase a machine every once in a while, right? Mm-hmm. Every few years or something like that. And we fear with the trend, the way it's going, that won't be an option. And part of the fear that Jeff is showing in his post, and that I'm believing as well, is that it is outpacing inflation. Stern has increased their prices far more than inflation, and they're lowering the quality, and that's obvious. I mean, you take a look at games that were made in the mid-2000s, and then when they started really lowering their quality with like a game like Iron Man, where there's like nothing in the game. They've taken out rails and stuff like that. Yet the price has gone up. Now people still continue to purchase them, and Stern's doing well. So I feel like it's going to come to a head. Kevin, why don't you jump in, because I just rambled off a little bit. I want to get. I've said a lot. That post says a lot. What do you? Let me tag you in here.
All right. So I'm an MBA student, so businesses are top of mind for me. And businesses exist for one reason and one reason only, and that is to make money.
Yes.
For their shareholders.
Agreed. It's not a charity.
So to that end, Bermersky in the chat, demand is going up. Stern sees that demand. They see there's a market for it. The market is bearing the cost of these machines at this level. It's why they're there. They're going to make as much profit as they possibly can. They see Jersey Jack come out and start releasing games for started like $6, $7, $8, pushing $9,000 per machine. People are buying it. So obviously they see there's a market for it. They see, crazy games like the J-pop stuff come out, and they're going to make like 20 of those, and people are willing to pay $12,000 for Magic Girl. They're like, okay, well, there's a super hyper collector market, so let's see how far we can push this. And there's these 50 guys out there that are willing to drop $15,000 on a pinball machine. Boom, they did it. So to their end, good on them. If it comes to the point where there's enough opposition to that and it starts hurting their bottom line, then you better believe they're going to start either offering lower models or adjusting the price to where it fits the market. I don't think we're seeing the end of the Pro. I think they made a mistake in announcing the Super LE with the there's no Pro, there's only Premium LE, Super LE, because I think in a lot of people's heads they said, well, now the lowest price I can pay for a new in-box game is $8,000, even though they've never said we're done with the Pro. It's only for this model. I guarantee you're going to see the Pro come back for Aerosmith.
I hope so, because I want operators to, operators are the folks who are keeping pinball certainly going too, right? It's collectors and operators, because collectors kept it afloat during kind of the lean years when pinball, quote unquote, was on its deathbed. Now you're starting to see it come back out into the public and people getting into it. Well, you need pinball machines to be affordable and you need operators to make money. So it's that delicate balance too.
Yep.
And we're all to blame when we keep on buying from Stern and they jack up the price, and we're still willing to pay for it. I just told you I'm willing to pay for it. I mean, I have a limit, and I'm starting to get upset a little bit where I'm like, well, wait a minute, guys. What? Look, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was able to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars less, and now you're giving me a product that has cheaper components, and it's not, you factor in inflation, doesn't matter. There's a breaking point for everybody, and Jeff here has obviously reached his breaking point.
Yeah.
And based on the number of thumbs up, you're getting there. You're right. You're like, here's the feedback, Stern. Like, and Stern's probably gonna wait, and they read this and they look at pin signs. So hopefully they realize you don't want to push it too much. You want to make money so you can stay in business. They got another factory, right? Things are going well.
Yep.
So I agree with everything you just said. They'd be stupid not to be maximizing profits. But you might start losing customers. And now that you have competition, suddenly you take a game where let's look at Jersey Jack, okay? $8,000 for a game, $8,500 for a game. When I look at one of his games, that's beyond my budget. So I'm purchasing a lot of Sterns. But when I look at his games, I can see $8,000. I can see every component. That doesn't mean they don't have problems or they don't break. All pinball machines break, right? They all have issues. But in terms of the quality of the components, they're there. And then when you compare it to a Stern, you kind of scratch your head and say, well, wait a minute. Where's the bang for my buck? So
would you say where's the value?
Where's the value? So, pricing is interesting. We all kind of fear some of the pricing going up. The fact that price is going up and games are, twice as much as they were. I'm talking about like used game market. That's good. More people are getting into pinball all the time. Pinball's hot right now. That's awesome. This is good news in many ways. And you brought up the Batman 66 and selling the game for $15,000. Good on Stern, because you know what they're doing with those. They'd be crazy not to sell that. And that money can be used to subsidize other things, right?
Yep.
That they're making that profit. So that can feed back into maybe lowering the cost on other games.
Yep.
So if they can always do that and that works and that helps maybe lower the cost for a pro or keep their costs at bay, then God bless them. Let's keep on doing that. I just hope that things like the Pro don't go away. I hope that Stern keeps an eye on quality. I think quality, that's never excusable. Okay, I think if the price is going to go up, then I would want at least the quality to be where it used to be, right? I think that's if price just went up and the quality remained and the quality was good or the quality got better, I think we'd be good with that. I think it's when the quality is starting to go down and you're stripping things off the game, that's when you start getting a little upset about it, right? That's when you start asking questions.
So you look at it, well, two things. The issues they've been having with Ghostbusters, the playfield, the ghosting. I know it's been talked to death, but those are huge issues. And when they come out and they announce a Super LE game for $15,000, when they haven't really addressed the Ghostbusters thing at that point, they have a program going where if you have, I guess, 3 ghosted inserts, you can get it taken care of. I only have 1, so I'm out of luck. But It rubbed people the wrong way. The timing of that announcement was not well done. So yeah, and decals peeling off of cabinets. There's no reason for that. Use the same glue you've been you save 50 cents on glue or whatever.
It's just I can forgive some mistakes, but when there's a lot of mistakes and they happen over and over again, and you see other things being chintzy on the quality and the price, I think that's because it's not just like there's an error, there's a problem. You can see where they're cutting costs and jacking up the price.
Yep.
And that becomes a concern.
Yeah. I mean, you look at...
And you know that they can make and the other thing is, you know that they can make a profit putting in quality components and putting more on a pinball game. You know they can. They were making profits in 2008 when they were selling a game for $3,700. Okay, so game new in box is about $3,700. That's what you might pay for a Spider-Man. Okay, that's not MSRP, but that's kind of the real price you would get from a distributor. All right, 2007, 2008, $3,700. In 2016, that should be $4,100. All right,
it's not $5,000.
No. So Stern is making, $700 more, whatever, give and take. Let's just use these are rough numbers, but I think they give you an idea. And they've taken more out of their games. So that's okay. As Kevin said, they're in a business to make money, right? They're not a charity. But as consumers, we should ask of the company. We should ask these questions. We should talk about this amongst ourselves. We should show off our purchasing power and say, well, wait a minute. You want us to pay considerably more, and there's less stuff in this game, and the quality has gone down.
I look at a game like Batman 66, and I look at the playfield, and I see toys that you can go to Toys R Us and pick off the shelf, and they just slapped them in there. It's such a turnoff to me.
But people but people are still buying.
I know.
So how far do we have to go? I guess we don't. I don't want to go off that edge.
Yeah.
I don't want Stern to give people I'm not saying that they're doing this. I'm saying that people feel this way. I don't want Stern to alienate and upset too many of its loyal customers so that business does drop off, right? And then suddenly they start losing out. I want them to succeed. I want them to do well. So I think that's why we're sounding the alarm and bringing this up now. It's like, okay, hold on a sec. Just be careful here. Make sure you don't make any missteps. Communicate a little bit better. Take care of your customers, not just when something goes wrong, because they're awesome at that. They've always taken care of me. Take care of your customers now. Maybe don't ban them on Facebook. Maybe don't block people from going to parties.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't be so reactionary and say like, well, F you spoke out against us or whatever. We don't like you, and that's it. That's not the way to win people over, man. It might take a little extra work, but spend some time on customer relations, because I think you're doing great things. The folks at Stern are all the all-stars from Bally & Williams. They are my favorite designers are there, man. Like, it is amazing. And these designers, they're better than they were 20 years ago. They have 20 more years of experience under their belts. I mean, it's amazing what Stern has been putting out in terms of games and themes and rules. And I hope it continues. I just hope we see an improvement in quality. I hope we see a little bit more respect to the customers, not just when something goes wrong, but in communicating with them. Is that fair?
That's fair enough. We've talked a lot about Stern there, and we said there is some competition. I think Spooky has done a good job in keeping their prices down. I've heard from owners of the machines that maybe the production quality is not where it should be in comparison to like Stern, and that's some of the issues when it comes to a Spooky game. I've never owned a Spooky game, so I can't speak to that personally, but but even them, they're increasing their price on their next game. So prices are going up across the board. So I think they're going to be like $62.50 or something on their next game.
Well,
$59.
Look, Dialed In is more expensive than the Hobbit.
Yep.
And what Jack said to us, Jack reads the forums, he gets it. He's like, listen, I had to pay Pat Lawler for 3 years, and that's not cheap. So
it's not.
Again, at least you can see the justification in that. This is a game that is a lot of time was spent on it. There's a lot of quality in it. So I guess I'm a little more lenient, not just because we have a partnership, but because I can actually see. It's explained to me. I understand. I get it. Like, I can see you've got an LCD in there. I can see that you spent a hell of a lot longer than Stern has on animations that they're just putting in DMD. Like, I get it. I can see the playfield, the toys, the clear coat, all that.
Yep, they're definitely pushing the envelope. You can see the value when you get a Jack game. When like I said, he's getting custom molded pieces for his play fields. He's packing them through. When we were talking about the limit or the standard edition, he said, I can't take the shaker out of there. It's a disaster game. It's
Right.
like that. It's an integral part of that game. What can I take out of this game? So they're taking out. There's no armor coating. It's just plain armor and some ramp lights, and that's basically it. That's basically all you can take out of it because everything else is such a good big part of the game.
I want to have faith that Stern knows what they're doing. I do, and they're in many ways they're killing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stern's picking amazing themes, making amazing games. The rules are just phenomenal. What Lyman's coming up with, and now Dwight's really stepped up, and they got an all-star team. And it's their game to lose. And if Stern loses, then we all do in some way. So I just hope that I think that's a really good post by Jeff. I think that Stern needs to take a look at it and certainly address it in some way, whether they either come out and say something, which I don't expect them to, or in just the way to address it is just to improve your quality.
Yep.
We're
upset and we're enthusiastic about all this because we care, and that's why we bring it up. This is a hobby we all love.
Yeah.
We wanted to see it. We love that it's thriving right now. There's so much great stuff happening. We've got hand-drawn art coming back into pinball machines. We've got original themes happening. We've got some of the greatest minds in pinball making games with awesome rule sets, awesome designs. We want to see it keep going.
It's sort of funny that, I listen to board game podcasts, and in the board game world, there's like 1,000 games that come out a year. So, I don't, they definitely talk about companies, and if a company releases a game that has poor quality components, this comes up, and pricing is an issue. But I don't think they're able to focus on, because there's so many companies and so many games, they're not able to focus on that level. They just kind of weed through it, and they'll talk about the best games, right?
Right.
But in this world of pinball, where there's only a few companies, right, and we're all super passionate, we want them all to do well. Nobody wants a company to fail, unless you're maybe at one company, you want the other company. But nobody wants a company to fail. We're living in one of the best times of pinball right now, with all these new companies, these great themes, these great rules, the new technology. So we're just passionate about it, and I think, again, I think that's a great post, and I hope that I don't know. I hope we get games that are worth your time and money, right? There's a respect to the customer. In terms of when you take their money, that they're going to get something that the value is there. Fair enough?
Agreed. Let's leave it at that.
God, how many people have I not pissed off yet? I don't know. You can let me know. Write to talkpinball@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts on anything we talked about tonight, or anything that you want Kevin and I to look into or answer.
Yep.
And then we'll go from there. We're gonna do some shout outs, right?
Yep. Before we go, let's say thank you to the folks who make this possible. Comet Pinball, exclusive and quality LEDs for less. Comet Pinball, cometpinball.com. So if you want, light up your game, make it look beautiful, new game or old, you can use Comet Pinball LEDs. Pinball Life, if you need a pinball part for your machine, 9 times out of 10, Pinball Life has it. And they also got cool custom stuff like pin gulps and stuff you don't really need for your pinball machines, but makes them even more awesome than they already are. Check them out, pinballlife.com.
You do need those pin gulps unless you want people spilling beverages on the floor, which Kevin knows all about.
Who would possibly do such a thing?
I've spilled 2 beverages at least, and I blame you, Kevin, for not having a pin gulp on your game.
Well,
it's
now
inexcusable.
Now you'll see there's a pin gulp on every machine, and I even have a few extra for when I get loaner machines that go on those. Yes. Jersey Jack Pinball. Big thank you to Jersey Jack for letting us come out and help debut Dialed In, loaning us the Hobbit. We love Jersey Jack. The Pinball Arcade. We didn't talk about that. Pinball Arcade just launched Stern Pinball Arcade for the PlayStation 4. Coming out soon for Xbox One. Also said it's forthcoming for Android, iOS, Wii U, a couple other platforms. Steam, PC. Check them out, pinballarcade.com. They're always hooking us up with giveaways. We don't have any for you tonight, but tune in every month when they launch a new table. We stream after them, and then we hook you up. So watch us on Twitch. We'll hook you up. Titan Pinball, titanpinball.com. Save 10% with the coupon code Buffalo. They make silicone rings for your pinball machines. Not only the flippers, but also the posts and the slingshots, and anywhere around you got a rubber ring. You can replace that with a cool colored. They even got like transparent ones that I have on my Tron. They look really awesome.
Yeah, you'll see my Iron Man tomorrow has all Titan silicone rings in it. I put a bunch of like yellow.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it looks great. It really pops on it.
Awesome. And last but not least, our good buddy Dan Burfield, tiltcycle.com. Save 20%, coupon code Buffalo. Nick, why don't you give the pitch for Tilt Cycle?
Tilt Cycle makes upcycled pinball art. So Dan Burfield will take pinball parts, pinball playfields that cannot be they can't be used in a pinball machine anymore. So he's not damaging, he's not destroying pinball machines. Okay, they're too destroyed, but he'll take them and make art out of it. So coffee tables, framed pictures. My favorite thing is my playfield that I have hanging up in my game room. It's a playfield of Genie, and it lights up. It looks awesome. I just had, at that collector night, I had another collector come over. He's like, this is amazing, and he went and ordered one. I mean, it looks that cool. Like, I tell you right now, if you got one of those for your game room, that's my favorite thing that Dan makes, if you can't tell. If you get one of those for your game room, prepared to receive a lot of compliments. And the cool thing about, I'm going to focus on the playfields because it's my favorite. The cool thing about his playfields is that, let's say you have a theme or an idea, you can go to his site, tiltcycle.com, and he has playfields there. But if one's not there that you don't like, that's okay. You can ask him to keep an eye out for it or talk about a theme. You can even send him a playfield if you have like an old one, and he will do his magic work and get that lit up for you. That collector actually has like this. He had his own like original idea or sketch that he sent to Dan. Like there's kind of like these coffee table things based on like a plane theme. So
nice.
It's really cool. But like that's what's awesome about Dan. Like if you can call him up and let him know your idea, and he can make it a reality. So check it out, tiltcycle.com.
Thank you guys. So we'll give some plugs for us. Check us out on the web, buffalopinball.com. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We are /Buffalo Pinball on all of those. On Facebook, we have a group. It's at facebook.com/group/Buffalo Pinball, and on Steam as well, steam.com/group/Buffalo Pinball.
If you guys like what we do and you find value in this and you enjoy the content that we put out through our podcast, through our live streaming, through taking trips to pinball manufacturers to bring you the latest games, there's a couple ways you can thank us. You can just say thank you, and that's awesome too. You can tune in and interact with the chat. You can subscribe to our Twitch channel, either via $5 a month in recurring payments, or you can sign up through Amazon Prime. We just learned, unfortunately, about Amazon Prime is that once you sign up through Amazon Prime, you sign up through Twitch Prime through Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, you get Twitch Prime. I know it's confusing. And then you got to sign up every month. You got to resub every month, but that's free. So everybody who has Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime for free, and then you can sub our channel for free.
No additional cost. So.
And we actually get some monetary support from that.
Yeah, we get the same amount from that as we would from you subscribing normally. So
either
way, we love it.
We had some folks say that they want to support us and they want a Patreon thing. So when I can breathe, maybe I'll set that up. You can also donate to us via PayPal at buffalopinball@gmail.com. We will accept that. So thank you. We've gotten a lot of support. And
it's been awesome. These past 2 months have been a whirlwind, but it's been so awesome for us.
It's been very encouraging. I can't even add up how much time we spend on this, and it's a labor of love. But to also be reimbursed for some of the expense that we have to dig out of our own pockets, just coming to do this podcast. Kevin and I choose to do it live in person rather than Skyping in. Maybe not the most brilliant thing, but I think there's a certain quality to it that you can't get via Skype. Kevin lives 45 minutes away from me, so we're talking an hour and a half trip anytime we do that, and that's time and money. So,
or you can buy a shirt.
I have no shame. I will always ask for donations. That's the kind of world I live in. You can also buy shirts, which helps us out as well. So You can help yourself and help us.
Yep, you can look cool and support the bros. So with that, I think that wraps up another episode of Bro Do You Even Talk Pinball?
See, the beauty of this is that I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. If not, if you're in any other country, feel free to eat a lot of food on Thursday just to say, show your solidarity.
Yeah.
We need some help at this time of year. If you're traveling, we wanted to get this podcast out, so hopefully this gets you through the nuisance of traveling.
You can listen to it with your mom at Thanksgiving. Listen to some pinball podcasts.
Just give her a warning. Oh, it's too late. Nick swore. Whatever. Your mom's got a filthy mouth.
When you
too.
get to the Ghostbusters part, just pause it. Oh wait,
Yeah.
This is too late. So sorry we offended you, Mom.
All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to us blather on and on. We'll catch you soon.
All right. Peace.